Welcome back, wrestling fans, to another emotional and powerful breakdown here on Wainsider, where we don't just cover the action in the ring, but the stories, the scars, and the truths that hide beneath the surface. Tonight's focus is not on championships, not on victories, but on pain, family, and the silence of a hospital room where emotions ran deeper than any promo or segment on WWE television. Jey Uso, the man who has walked both as a twin and as a brother in bloodline wars, found himself in a position no superstar, no family member, ever wants to face. He wasn't standing across from Roman Reigns in the ring. He was standing beside Roman, watching him fight something far worse than a match. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. What makes this moment so heartbreaking is the journey these two have endured. Roman Reigns was not just the tribal chief, he was the anchor, the ruler, the figure who demanded loyalty, obedience, and blood sacrifices from his own kin. Jey Uso carried that burden for years. He fought under Roman's command, bled for him, betrayed others for him, and even broke his own spirit to uphold the empire of the bloodline. That weight never left his shoulders. There was pride, yes, but also silent resentment. The kind of resentment you bury deep because you're told family comes first. The kind of resentment you mask with loyalty because the world is watching. The kind of resentment that only rises to the surface when tragedy strikes. And tragedy did strike, because in one of the most shocking nights on Raw, the aura of invincibility around Roman Reigns shattered. It wasn't just the tribal chief standing tall. It was the man lying in a hospital bed, fragile, human, and broken. Before that moment, no one could have imagined Roman Reigns being in that position. His dominance was unquestionable, his presence was undeniable, but everything changes when the cameras stop rolling, and reality forces its way into the storyline. Jey Uso was seen crying, raw, unfiltered emotion dripping down his face as he stayed near Roman's side. Those tears weren't just for a cousin. They were for years of memories, years of battles, years of both pride and pain. Halfway through this story, we arrive at the shocking climax. Roman Reigns wasn't just injured. He was attacked, and the man behind it all was none other than Bron Breakker, a rising powerhouse in WWE who made a statement that will be remembered for years. Bron didn't just go after a superstar. He went after the head of the table. He went after the very heartbeat of the bloodline. And in doing so, he didn't just wound Roman physically, he cracked the foundation of a family empire. The aftermath was chaos. Backstage, whispers spread quickly. Some said Bron Breakker went too far. Others claimed this was the only way to finally dethrone Roman once and for all. But for Jey, it was simpler. This wasn't about storylines. This wasn't about titles. This was blood. Imagine carrying years of resentment toward the same man now lying weak in front of you. Imagine remembering the manipulation, the dominance, the control, and realizing none of it matters when that person is fighting to breathe. That's what Jey faced. For years, Jey Uso wanted to break free from Roman's shadow. He wanted to stand as his own man. But the moment he saw Roman in that hospital, tears flowing freely, he was reminded of something bigger. Family ties aren't easily broken, even when hearts are scarred. Those hospital tears became symbolic. They told the story of everything Jey never said. Every argument he swallowed. Every night he questioned his loyalty. Every match where his body broke but his voice stayed silent. It all came rushing back in a flood. And the wrestling world took notice. This wasn't Jey Uso the performer. This wasn't Jey Uso the character. This was Joshua Fatu, the man, the cousin, the brother, the nephew, crying for the tribal chief he could never fully walk away from. Backstage sources revealed that tensions were boiling. Some insiders whispered that Roman himself, before the attack, had been planning to confront Bron Breakker on his own terms. Others say Triple H knew this collision was inevitable. But no one expected the fallout to hit this hard. The bloodline's legacy is now in question. Without Roman at the forefront, without his dominance, what becomes of the empire? Can Jey, who once walked away, now carry the very weight he despised? Or will this attack mark the beginning of the true end for the dynasty? Emotions ran high across the locker room. Some felt sympathy, some felt fear, But Jey's tears were the loudest voice of all. They screamed pain, loyalty, and a reminder that behind the cameras, this is still family. Roman Reigns has been called many things: the big dog, the tribal chief, the head of the table. But in that hospital bed, he was simply Roman, the cousin, the man Jey grew up with, the man who once played in backyards and dreamed of wrestling glory alongside him. Bron Breakker may have unleashed a storm, but he also unknowingly reignited something in Jey Uso. That fire of protection, that bond of family, that urge to defend blood at all costs. The attack may have broken Roman's body, but it lit a spark in Jey's soul. The next chapter will not just be about revenge. It will be about legacy, about whether the bloodline rises from this tragedy or crumbles under its weight. And at the center of it all, Jey Uso now finds himself carrying the emotional torch. As fans, we watch, we speculate, we cheer, but we also feel. Because moments like this remind us that wrestling isn't just about moves and belts. It's about the stories we all share, the families we all cling to, and the tears that remind us of our humanity. Jey Uso's tears weren't weakness. They were honesty. They were love. They were pain. And they may very well be the turning point in not just his career, but in the story of the bloodline itself. So as we reflect on this shocking night, one thing is certain. No matter the power, no matter the dominance, no matter the empire, at the end of the day, blood, betrayal, and broken trust cut deeper than any spear or superkick. And in that hospital room, as Jey Uso cried for Roman Reigns, the world was reminded of a truth far greater than any storyline. Family is forever, but family can also break you in ways no opponent ever could.